Welcome to the Hypnosis Lab, the show where we say bye-bye to unhelpful beliefs and rewire your subconscious mind to live a life by design. I'm your host, Edna Estrada, rapid transformational hypnotherapist and subconscious transformational coach. Every episode is designed to help you snap out of your old paradigm, gain control of your free will, and experience the life you design. Hello, you brilliant minds. Welcome to the Hypnosis Lab. This is episode number 5. Can you control your hormones with your mind? How hypnosis lets women reclaim their bodies. I do want to make a quick announcement before we get started. As you listen to these episodes, if you find them helpful, please leave us a 5-star review so that other women can find it and learn to tap into the power of their mind. If you do leave a 5-star review, you can take a screenshot of that review and send it to us on my Instagram page to Hypnotherapist Edna, and you'll be entered to win a $50 Amazon gift card on the 1st of every month, okay? All right, that's it. So let's get started. So today we're talking about controlling your body with your mind. Is it possible? How is it possible? And what do you have to do to get in on it? So let me explain how it works. A lot of women that come to me because they have issues with their body, and it's pretty serious enough issues that, it's holding them back from living a fulfilling life. So sometimes that looks like weight issues. They struggle to gain weight or lose weight. Sometimes it's things with just random parts of their body. Maybe they have knee issues or shoulder pain or a lot of headaches, hearing loss, sight issues, things like that, right? And sometimes it's deeper things like a serious illness like cancer. What I have learned from speaking to all of these women subconscious, the one thing that they all have in common is that there is undoubtedly a connection between what the body is experiencing and the mind. So what I've learned is that when you put too much pressure on your mind, it stops becoming sustainable after a certain amount of time, and that's different for everyone. And eventually that bleeds over to your body, and you start to experience symptoms in your body. You start to experience headaches, hearing loss, sight issues, a lot of stomach issues. I get a lot of women that come to me for gastrointestinal issues, a lot of IBS, a lot of women that have been just storing so much trauma in their body, so much stress, and they hold it in and they hold it in. And then eventually that starts to really take form in a physical matter in their body, through their body. And that's why you may notice that often when you do struggle with an illness or some sort of chronic something, or even things like acne, when you experience flare-ups, you'll notice that oftentimes they happen when you are stressed. So that cortisol spike is usually enough to create a reaction in your body. But that means that the illness or the disease or whatever has been there for a long time. It's just the cortisol that makes it spike up, which is why a lot of issues, again, like acne or issues with the skin, the remedy for that, or not the remedy, but the remedy for the symptoms that a doctor might usually prescribe has some sort of anti-cortisol, anti-inflammatory ingredient in it, right? So today I want to talk to you about how hypnosis can help you with that, because I feel like when women hear the word hypnosis, it becomes this sort of like woo-woo conversation, or like, yeah, that may be a thing that I may be willing to try. But really what hypnosis is a way for you to gain control of something you're already doing. So you're already commanding your mind to do something. So you may be commanding your mind to be quiet, to just keep going, to, be a good girl, to not make anyone upset. And so you have all these beliefs buried inside of you, inside of your subconscious, and they're the ones that are making you make these huge life decisions. So for example, if you're in a very unhealthy, toxic relationship and you keep just putting up with things that make you feel unsafe, and you've commanded your mind to create a belief that you have to stay in a relationship for the kids, or because if you don't, you won't have any money, or because that is what your religion commands and you won't get into heaven if you leave that relationship, or whatever it is. You've created a belief so strong that means everything to you. But that belief might not be a helpful belief because it's out of alignment. And it's out of alignment, you can tell, because it is creating negative symptoms inside your body, right? Have you noticed that when you do something that feels in alignment, you feel good, you feel free, you feel lighter? Maybe it's like after a day of hanging out with your friends, or after a day swimming or working out or eating healthy. All those things are things that make you feel better, and therefore you feel that connection with your body that also makes your body feel better, right? When you have a belief that is not helpful to you, your body starts to experience that stress. I hope that makes sense. So with hypnosis, what you are doing is that you are actively going inside of your subconscious and you are saying, hey, I know I had this belief before, but now I have a better belief, or I want to upgrade my belief, and I want this to be running the show, right? So if before you felt that you had to be a good girl and not give anyone any trouble and just agree with everyone, and you became a heavy people pleaser, and as a result, your body is just kind of imploding on itself because you just can't take it, and you feel a lot of feelings of resentment or angered or feeling tired or feeling lonely, and you're starting to feel tired, and maybe you're starting to see that in through like weight gain. Maybe you're eating your emotions, or you're drinking a lot of alcohol, and that's creating issues with your kidneys and whatnot. You go in with hypnosis and you say, actually, I refuse to be available for anything that has to do with people pleasing. I have things that I want to accomplish, and anything that is not in alignment with that is a hard no for me. It's a hard pass. I can still be kind. I can still be gentle. I can still be nice, but I am going to move forward with my life by making sure that I get this thing that I want no matter what. And then going after that thing feels really good. So maybe for you, it's like going back to school, or pursuing your business, or you start dating again, like different kind of man or whatever. But things that feel good, things that feel right. And by doing that, your body starts to feel free and relaxed. And as a result, it starts getting healthier, and it starts getting great sleep, and you start feeling better, and you start to see all these symptoms again of maybe a high cortisol spike start to leave your body. Right? So one of the most popular topics I've been getting lately is the premenopausal topic, right? And as a woman of a certain age, I can totally relate to a lot of these conversations. And at the same time, I've noticed a shift in the conversation for menopause and premenopause. So whereas before it was just something you didn't really talk about, and your parents maybe, or your mom maybe didn't even talk to you about it, it was just something that was expected, right? Like you just knew your body was going to change, and maybe not for the better. Now we have a lot of people talking about it. And if you just give your algorithm like a little boost by searching the word premenopause, you'll start getting all these posts with women asking for advice or giving advice. And you'll see that the comment section is filled with pretty much negative things, right? And it's interesting because on the one hand, you are starting this conversation that is so helpful and where you can clearly see you're not alone. And I love that for us. But at the same time, you are reading through this material and you are programming your mind for what to expect. So whereas before you might have not even known about it, now you're creating a new conversation where it's like, oh, okay, I have to expect this. Oh, I'm going to start lacking focus. Oh, my hormones are going to go out of whack. Oh, I'm going to start feeling hot, or I'm going to start getting angry for no reason. And it's all these things. When you create repetition in your mind eventually says, okay, this is not sustainable. Let me just go ahead and put this on autopilot. And it puts it in the back of your mind where you don't even have to think about it anymore, but it's there running your programming. And so now you've created a belief that premenopause or menopause has to be hard. You must expect to, not feel your best. And so when that shift does happen, because that is a biological thing that is going to happen to your body, your body needs to shift with age, right? Because it's going to stop making babies. Now you've created a rule in your mind that, you have to experience the symptoms. And if your mind has these beliefs inside of the subconscious already, and you're not really experiencing those symptoms, your mind will find a way to start making those symptoms happen for you, because it's going to say, oh, but you're going through premenopause and you told me that premenopause sucks or menopause sucks. So therefore, I have to now tap into your nervous system or your sleeping patterns or your hormones and start making them act a certain way so that you're miserable, because you're telling me I have to be miserable. So what I've done with my clients and what I'm doing for myself is that I am creating this story that my mind and my body get better with age, that I get stronger and healthier, and that my hormones get better, and that I feel more focused, and that I feel more amazing every single day, and that the older I get, the better I take care of my body, and therefore my body takes better care of me. So I do that over and over and over, and then I feed that story to my subconscious through hypnosis, and I tell myself also consciously, like, this is just the way it is. And I notice the shifts. I notice my cravings going towards the healthier, more raw things. So this is the cool part about hypnosis. You don't have to be reading articles. You don't have to be looking things up on YouTube. Your subconscious already knows what you need. So remember, if you've ever been pregnant before, or maybe if you've ever had like an illness, like a fever, just a regular cold, a regular fever, you'll notice that your body naturally starts craving the things that you need, right? So if you've been pregnant before, your body will crave certain foods because that's what your body needs. Those are the vitamins and the minerals that your body needs in order for you to carry a healthy pregnancy, right? And also when you're sick, if you've ever experienced like a cold or a fever, your body will stop feeling hungry, right? So your brain fires off those signals to your body saying like, hey, we're not taking any food right now. We don't need anything. We just need to kind of work on getting rid of this illness. So your body already knows what to do. It just needs the belief fully logged in. That's why it doesn't work if you try to fake it, if you try kind of doing affirmations and just saying like, I am healthy. But if you don't believe it, your body's like, okay, I'm craving Cheetos, I'm craving nachos, And you have to really, truly believe, yes, my body gets better with age. Yes, I feel better. My hormones are so amazing. They like regulate themselves. They're the best. Like, it's unbelievable. I am the only woman on earth whose hormones get better with time. Like, I should be studied, And so you start to say that to yourself and you start to believe it, and your mind starts going, oh, okay, so let's do that. Here, I want you to start craving these foods or these teas, or what, I no longer have a taste for alcohol, or I no longer feel like smoking. It's just, you'll start to experience shift in your taste for things and in your habits just naturally, because all you have to worry about is locking in the belief, and then the belief creates the habits. So when you hear women saying things like, I'm losing control of my body, it's very important that you are able to immediately clock that in and say, no, you've actually lost communication with your body. Like, you've actually allowed your body to create a habit or a belief based on opinions of others. And it's really important for you to tell your body, to create a new belief within your body, because you can do that. You can do that right now. You can rebuke all this information coming to you from outside of you and say, actually, I choose to believe that I can communicate with my body, and that whatever I believe, I will feel and I will manifest inside my body. And what I'm choosing to manifest is amazing health and strength and femininity and vitality as I get older. And the older I get, the better I get. And the better I get, the more I trust myself. And the more I trust myself, the more life I get to live and to experience. And the more you do that, the more you repeat things like that to yourself, the better you will get and the more proof you'll start to see of that. So that's why hypnosis works. Now, there is a caveat to this. So let's say that when you were little, right? When you were like 5 years old, you were sitting at a dinner table and your aunts and your mom and your grandma were all sitting at the table, and they were all talking about menopause and how horrible it was, and how difficult it can be. And at the same time, you guys are eating and laughing, and maybe your grandma's like playing with your hair. Your subconscious may take a moment like that and be like, oh my gosh, this is my tribe. This is how I fit in. I must be like my mom and my aunts and my grandma to fit in. Like, this is me. I am a woman who struggles with really difficult side effects of menopause or premenopause because I love them and I am a part of them, and we're the same bloodline, and there's nothing I can do to get out of that. This is love, right? Now, there's an extra step that you need to take if you don't want that to be your story, if you want to break the story of your blood lineage, which is to say, actually, no, that was a really nice moment in time, and I'm choosing to create a new narrative for my bloodline. I am choosing that me and my daughter and my granddaughters and anyone that comes after me is going to really learn to appreciate and take care of their body and know that there's things that they can do so that they can age gracefully and easily, and that a changing body can be a beautiful experience. And it doesn't have to be what society or my family told me it had to be. And again, you would do that through going inside of your subconscious, because you can do that now. But like the story I just told you is obviously a made up story. You would have your own story, right? That you may not even remember. So we would have to go inside of your subconscious and ask your subconscious, okay, so why do you have this belief? Why are you holding on to this super strong belief that you have to experience menopause a certain way or premenopause? Or why are you holding on to your weight gain or your weight loss or your headaches or your migraines or your IBS, whatever it is? Why did you even create it on a subconscious level? Why there, right? Because that's another thing. Your subconscious will decide, okay, the problem needs to go to the head, or it needs to go to the gut, or it needs to go to the feet. And that kind of taps into the spiritual realm where it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna, hurt my legs because that literally makes it difficult for me to keep moving forward because I feel so stuck. because when I was little, my mom told me that I would amount to nothing. And now every time I do try to create something amazing, I start to feel this fear in my body that I'm stepping out of line. I'm trying to be something that I'm not because my mom told me I couldn't be that. So it's like a whole process. And if you want to look deeper into what that is, you can go to the link in my bio and check out the Next Level Self. That is my one-on-one package where I go into your subconscious mind and I help you guide yourself and find the parts of you that have created these illnesses and these habits that make you ill or sick or tired or whatever it is. And we physically kind of mold them and kind of do mind surgery and remove them, right? And then after that, we go in with the hypnosis that creates a new habit. But if you don't have very strong beliefs around needing to be in pain through premenopause or menopause, then the hypnosis will work beautiful for you, right? If you don't have strong beliefs about why you need to be overweight. So like, for example, a lot of women can go in and lose weight very easily. If that's you, you might not have like any deeply buried beliefs, and hypnosis is going to work amazing. But if you've been trying to lose weight for a long time and you just can't seem to make anything stick, you may have a subconscious story that requires that extra step. So then that would require hypnotherapy, right? Going inside of your subconscious and doing that therapeutical work that allows you to release it on a subconscious level. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's recap. When you are experiencing something in your body, that is your sign that a belief that is not serving you has been inside of your mind for too long, and that's bleeding over to your body. And now your body is either, screaming for help or just breaking apart because it's just too much to bear. The good news with that is that you can reverse it. All you have to do is kind of like a mechanic, what's wrong with the car? Well, this is what's wrong with the car. Okay, well, take off the tire that's popped or whatever. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know a lot about cars, but you figure out what's wrong and you fix it or you put a new part. So it's the very same thing with the mind. You figure out why the body's acting out, why the mind created that physical misalignment, and you clear it, you fix it, and then you put a new programming in, you put a new belief in, and that starts reversing the symptoms or whatever it is. Your mind is literally the most genius tool that God has given you. It is your free will. It is your magic wand that allows you to decide, okay, yeah, I want to feel like this, or I want to do this, right? Because it's not like when people talk about manifestation or whatever, they're not saying that you can snap your fingers and call in $1 million or call in the man of your life. What they're really talking about is who you're becoming. So if you start to remove all these layers and all these beliefs that are telling you you're not good enough or that you are not smart enough or pretty enough, then, you start to become that person. You start to believe, well, yeah, I'm actually really pretty. I'm actually really smart. I'm actually very kind. I'm actually unstoppable. And then from being that person, you start taking actions that get you really beautiful results, that give you a very healthy body. Does that make sense? So the more you learn to train your mind and to work with people that help you reprogram your mind, the easier it becomes for you to become that woman that can become unstoppable. To become that woman that is unstoppable and gets everything that she wants. Okay. And I want to share one more program with you. I have my self-love elixir program, and you can also find out details for that. 99.9% of the time, when a woman is having an issue moving forward, most of the time it comes down to the way that she sees herself. to her own self-acceptance, to her own confidence. And I started getting so many sessions like that I ended up creating a program that you can do by yourself from the comfort of your bed, your couch, in your own time. And you can take yourself through a rapid transformational hypnotherapy session where you ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I limiting myself? What is that belief? And you guide yourself through that and you heal it and you let it go. And there's also a really powerful hypnosis in that program for self-love, because once you remove the programming that didn't work, you have to now reinstall the programming. So it has a great reprogramming experience to create that belief that you are unstoppable and that you love yourself and that you are amazing. And then to really lock it in, I've created 2 episodes that are breath work and a training in the polyvagal theory, where you learn to understand your nervous system so that you can activate your body to move with your new beliefs, so that you really, really are aligned and you really are unstoppable and you really do feel that confidence fully in your body and in your mind. And you move forward just with intense fire in your soul. Okay, so if you want to learn more about that, that's the Self-Love Elixir Hypnosis Experience, and it is in the link in my bio. All right, you guys. So that is it for today. I love you so much. Please, again, you can always email me at hello@ednaestrada.com with any requests, or you can message me on Instagram. I am at Hypnotherapist Edna. All right. I love you so much. Bye.